So in the first book, he clocks in at 220, I believe, right? He also, as you keep reading, he's 6'5" in the books. With boots on, I'm 6'5", and he's got a 10 and a half shoe in a book, and I'm like, this is totally wrong.
Police, don't move!
Jack Reacher, parents deceased, retired Army.
Bronze Star, Silver Star, and a Purple Heart.
What in God's name is a guy like that doing in Margrave?
What's a guy like that doing in jail? Zip ties?
Cuffs didn't fit him.
You guys recycle.
Alan,
Hey,
what's
good
going
morning.
on? Long time no talk. Last time I talked to you was for Dark Web. You were in a hallway doing, obviously, a Jack Reacher with a chandelier in the background, middle of the shoot.
in a 300-year-old farmhouse mansion. Yeah,
That's right, up in Canada, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Now
I
it's
miss
very
that
much
rickety
more
old
laid
house.
back. You got the guitar in the background.
Yeah.
You're done it all with all that physicality and kicking ass for now.
Still, yeah, I'm still recovering from the fights, I think. Yeah, but it's that was it feels like a lifetime ago to me. I mean, shooting that, rather surreal, taking that journey with Reacher. But yeah, it was physical and tough, and I was ready for a little vacation afterwards. But
That's right.
Yeah, it was fun.
Did you do anything for the holidays? What sort of vacation did you take after all that?
I've got a little cabin up in the mountains, and it's quiet and remote and off in the woods, and that's like my favorite place to be. So for holidays, I escape there with my family, and we do a lot of hiking and that kind of thing. So we were hitting the Appalachian Trail a bit.
Wow, look at that.
What about you?
Just back here in Chicago, kind of a low-key, holiday, just relaxing, decomposing. I'm actually working on a show that I'm creating, like this show about my interviewing and all that. So hopefully it's gonna be like a talk show. Maybe I'll get you on as a guest if the pilot goes all well.
I'd love to. Yeah.
That'd be so cool. Last time we talked, like people have been looking forward to this show for a long time since we talked for Dark Web. I've had like tons of views on our interview, so many comments. If I just want to read you a few of them, like how insane like this community of people is. I had no idea. Too handsome to be Reacher, but I'm not really complaining. Hawk got reborn as Jack Reacher. There's tons of stuff. Too small. It's like, people, you are one of the bigger guys in Hollywood. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane how people are so passionate about this.
Yeah, here's the thing about being
Jack
too
Reacher.
small. Here's the thing about being too small. So in the first book, he clocks in at 220, I believe, right? He also, as you keep reading, he's 6'5" in the books. With boots on, I'm 6'5", and he's got a 10 and a half shoe in a book, and I'm like, this is totally wrong.
That doesn't fit.
I got a
right?
size 13 shoe, and I'm 6'3" and a half or whatever. So I don't know who to believe here. I feel like I'm bigger than this guy.
Alan, are you ready for this madness that's about to come? People are so passionate about this, and they're like breaking this down. I mean, I'm sure they're like, such long time. I mean, there's someone saying that they read all the books, and like, are you ready where it's about to come, good and bad? Because people are really feeling strongly about it. You become a polarizing figure suddenly,
Yeah. Well, hopefully people forget about the polarizing aspects of this and just get lost in the character. One thing that we really worked hard to do is to create a show that, whether you've read the books or not, you can really get lost in the escapism of it all. Reacher really provides kind of a wish fulfillment escapism for us in who he represents. We all want this mysterious stranger to sweep into our lives and take care of justice in a way that our judicial system is too slow or cumbersome to do. And it's fun to get lost in the world. So hopefully people can just enjoy it for what it is. It's very entertaining. It's it was framed for me, before really getting involved, as like an action character, an action star. And there is a lot of action, but there's a lot of humor, a lot of mystery, a lot of fun. So it's a very well-rounded show in that way. And I hopefully people enjoy that and forget about all the minutia
Yeah.
from the the diehard fans.
That's the fun part. Like, I realized how this show kind of surprised me, how much humor, and it's kind of lighthearted too in a lot of scenes. It's not just like a straight up kick your ass action flick. There's a lot of characters, and there's a lot of, I love how it's well rounded. I felt like that, to me, stood out. It's like, instead of expecting like just a pure action show, it's got a lot of sort of heart and humor. It's really a mixed bag of things. So that was my personal takeaway. I thought, I was really impressed by that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, when I watch shows these days, I feel like the shows that take themselves too seriously, I never enjoy that much, right? I mean, I think life is not it's not so black and white. Throughout the course of our day, we have a lot of laughs, we have a lot of surprises, there's a lot of tension, and I think if we don't see that in TV shows, I think we're missing, kind of the humanity of storytelling. And that was important for Lee when he wrote the books. I mean, I think we really see a lot of that dry humor in Reacher on the page. I laughed out loud unexpectedly a lot reading the books, but it's also tense and fun and mysterious and dangerous, and and we get all that, but Nick Santora, the showrunner writer, did a really amazing job adapting these books to the screen. It's going to be hard for people to distinguish between what was in the books and what was added to really round out the characters, the supporting cast, or the plot points. But it's, it is three-dimensional. And I think that's what's going to make a lot of fun. And whether you've read the books or not, this show, I think, will stand out on its own because of what it provides.
I like that too, because I saw a little bit of Alan in it. It's just not a character. How much freedom did Lee and Nick kind of give you to incorporate your own personality? Because obviously, the book has the character and people are passionate about it. But I got a sense there was some of you watching you in former films, like there was your personality coming through in Jack Reacher too, which is the best. You get the actual person that's behind, because it's every actor is unique in their own way, right? So it's cool to see a little bit of your personality and kind of your mannerisms. I've noticed that, and not just like a fictional character in a sense. How much freedom did you kind of have at working on this show to incorporate kind of yourself and not just by the written, description in a sense?
Right. Yeah. I mean, when Lee talks about the casting process, he talks about seeing, the tape that I had put together for the screen test. So it was during the pandemic, so a lot of this was done virtually, and how he just sort of knew, watching me for the first few seconds, that in his words, I captured both that quality of somebody that if he's your friend, you really want him to be your friend, and if he's not, you've got a problem. And I think my resting face is sort of that ambiguous blend of you're not sure whether this is going to go well or not, So I think maybe I share in some of those very Reacher-esque qualities in a very natural way, and it struck the team that was putting this together as something authentic to who Reacher is. But it was a real collaborative effort. I mean, I would even get letters from producers who would go, "This is what I see for Reacher." 5 pages of like, this scene, this is how he should be. And you don't get that with a lot of roles. There's a real care and investment that everybody had to bring their version of Reacher to life. And I think we all see something different in our minds. And for me, it was just about availing myself to that. So we play a lot. We go like, maybe let's try this scene like it's completely comedic and just really have fun. And let's do it now like it's like there's a real malice behind the way that he feels about it. And so we'd really find a range of who this guy, who this guy could be, until we started to kind of all land in the same place. And I think the Reacher that we get is the Reacher that we see in the books.
Finally think, did you get a good luck text from Tom maybe, or send him any advice, ask him for advice or anything, kind of taking on your own version? It's like the Spider-Verse with Spider-Mans, different Spider-Mans. Now you're in the Reacher-verse.
No, Tom is an icon. I love Tom. I love his work. I'll always be a huge fan of his, but I had 24 books to look at, so I had this bedrock of Reacher's world to absorb, and that was fine for me. And I just wanted to sort of stay as true as possible to what I saw on the page. And I think my feeling is if as a fan of the book, if I'm bringing to life what's there on the page, then the fans will feel like they got what's on the page as well, and just trusting in that. And so that's where we landed.
Awesome. Hey, you did awesome. Listen, there's people going to be talking. I always say the best reaction is to have a reaction, and no reaction, no crickets. So you did something well. I think people are waiting for the show. It's awesome. I hope we get multiple seasons here. So it's so cool catching up with you, Alan, again. And hopefully
thanks so much. Yeah.
Talk again on the next one.
I hope so. Thanks, man.
Awesome job. Take care, buddy.
Take care.